Hi, everybody. Welcome to Leaning Left. I'm David Rodriguez. So, Donald Trump owes somewhere in the neighborhood of $500 million between the E. Jean Carroll lawsuit and the civil fraud trial. He's really in deep. Oh, also, a lot of the Capitol Police are suing him, so we could probably expect him to owe even more very soon. Now, the question is, how is he going to pay for that? Now, I know a lot of right-wingers will say, like, oh, he's never going to pay a dime, which may be true. Maybe he won't in the end. Who knows? But the thing is, in order to appeal these rulings, he has to put that money up first. Like, he can't just not pay for a while and hope the appeal goes through. He has to put that money up first. So that way, if his appeal doesn't go through, the people who are supposed to get paid still get paid. He has to give them that money. And every day that he doesn't, interest accrues on it. So it's only getting worse and worse and worse for him. Now, I really don't think he has that kind of cash on hand. I know a year ago he had something like $400 million, but I don't think he probably still does, if that was ever true to begin with, because we know he likes to inflate the value of everything he has. That's why there was a civil fraud trial in the first place. So what's he going to do? I mean, if he was a normal person, he'd probably have to sell off his properties and businesses. I mean, that's the most rational thing to do. That is what I think I should be able to say he probably will do. Of course, we're talking about Donald Trump here. So, first thing he's done, I'm guessing it's related, is he's stamped his name on some really shitty looking gold shoes. I mean, for the low price of $400, you too can look like an especially gaudy children's doll. As a side note, the best part of that whole thing is when he got on stage to announce that he was doing that, he was supposed to speak for 45 to 60 minutes. He got booed off stage in about a minute. It just kind of shows that unless the audience is specifically tailored to want to hear him, people don't want to hear him because he's an asshole. Simple as that. You know, if they want to, they will go to his rallies. Everywhere else, no one wants to hear this guy. And I think that's fucking hilarious. Now, I've heard those shoes are selling out. I hear he's going to have a perfume too. He's going to have all kinds of stupid, crappy products, as he always has through his whole life. But I don't think that's going to be enough to pay those hefty fees. It's not going to happen. There were people that tried to set up a GoFundMe to help pay for these fees, but GoFundMe shut them down because they're not willing to have a campaign up to help someone who is accused of various criminal things involving money, which is fantastic. He can't even get a GoFundMe up, which it's brilliant. So how do I think he's going to pay for this thing if the the ugly gold shoes are not going to get him out of this? Well, there's always the possibility of having a foreign government pay for it. I mean, I think Russia would be thrilled to pay for that, or Saudi Arabia or China. Any one of these, authoritarian countries would love to have him owe them. And if that happens, if one of them bails him out, his followers are going to be like, oh, well, no, he owes these people money. We can't support it. They're not going to care because they don't care what he does. It really doesn't matter. So he's going to go in there owing another country who's probably an adversary of ours something really big if he goes that route. Now, that being said, that's kind of risky for those countries because we don't know that he's going to win the election. I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards thinking the chances are he's not. I don't want to be too optimistic here, but I kind of think he may not do it. So what are his other options? Well, I have an idea. I don't think I'm the first person to come up with this or anything, but we know that there are still classified documents missing. We also know that there are a couple places that the FBI didn't search at Mar-a-Lago that were really obvious places to look. Like, why would you not? There was a closet that was locked that we know now have had those documents in them in the past, and they didn't go in there because it was locked. Like, it's a search. You're doing a search for things this person's probably trying to hide. And then there was some kind of like a secret room hidden behind like a TV. So I don't know the exact layout, but that also seems like a pretty good place to hide things. You might not even see that room. And those weren't searched. And so what I'm getting at is that even if he can't say, well, I'll for sure be president, which he can't. He probably will say that, but he can't really correctly. He probably has secrets he could sell them and make a ton of money off of that. And I have no doubt that he's the kind of person who would do that. No doubt. At all. I'd be amazed if he hasn't already sold a bunch of our secrets. But if he has any of those left, if he hasn't sold them all, that's probably how he's going to pay them off. That's how he'll get money from another country. And that way he can, vaguely say, oh, no, we made a deal. I wish I could do a Trump voice, but I can't. But we just made a business deal. No big deal. You don't have to look into that. And his followers, will of course buy that, because they will buy anything, because they're really not very smart. And so he'll have a reason for the money to be coming in. He won't have, or at least he can argue that he doesn't owe them anything now, because he did give them something. He's probably not going to disclose what it was, but he did give them something. And that, to me, assuming that he still has these classified documents, seems like the most likely way that he'll pay for this. Because Lord knows he's not going to want to give up his resorts, because even though that's a rational thing to do, that will look bad. That'll look like that's all he has left. That'll look like he's running out of money, and he can't stand the idea that he might look like he's running out of money, because that's all that matters to him in this world. Not his family, not America, not the people of America. None of that matters at all to him. It's all about his money and how much of that people think he has. So I don't see him selling off his stuff unless there's literally no other way. I think he's going to sell secrets. Time will tell. We may never know if that's the case. But if I had to put my money on something, I would definitely put it on that. I wouldn't put it towards buying really ugly gold shoes. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this matter. But what do you think? How do you think he's going to pay for this? I mean, is there an aspect or a way that he might do it that I'm not thinking of? I would love to hear your thoughts on it, because I cannot put anything past him. I really can't. He could do anything for that money. Nothing would shock me. But let me know in the comments. I definitely want to know what you think. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit like and subscribe. Click the little bell icon so you know about the next time I put out a video. But in the meantime, stay woke, stay vigilant, keep fighting, and remember, if you keep leaning left, you'll always be right.